PvE, PvP, or both? What is your gameplay preference for 2024? No matter if you're a new player to the division or a veteran, you as a gamer typically will have a preference when it comes to gaming. These preferences can individually impact the performance of a game and also tip the balance scale when it comes to community decisions. The ongoing debate right now for the division community has been going on for years and is now also entering 2024. And it's been here since the release of Division 1. For example, if you played Division 1, did you prefer the PvE only aspect of it, survival mode, or the dark zones? Each player in the comments could potentially say something different, but we will be mainly focusing on Division 2 today. Later in this video, you will know exactly what this big debate is all about, which side of the debate your preference in gaming falls in line with, and the future release date in 2024 for Division 2's most anticipated update to make changes to enhance this game for everyone's suitable preference. So if you have never played Tom Clancy The Division 2 and or just haven't been part of the community but plan to play it this year in 2024, sit back and listen closely because I will explain everything you need to know through these explanations. The deciding factor will be clear to you at the end of this video. The long-standing debate that heads into 2024 with us in the Division 2 is about whether the game is primarily PvE, player versus environment, or PvP, player versus player. This stems from several factors, making it a nuanced decision with some valid points on both sides. Let's break this debate down further and see how it aligns with your gaming preference. First up, we got PvE. Now these are agreements for PvE. These players agree that the Division 2 is mainly a PvE only game. Alright, so the first agreement, majority of content. So majority of the game is PvE content. This includes raids, incursions, open world activities, missions, strongholds, manhunts, countdown, summit, descent, Kenley College, and season events. The core gameplay in the Division 2 revolves around PvE activities. These activities offer extensive challenges, loot drops, and character progression. Alright, the second fact that every PvE player agreed on is the narrative focus. The story primarily focuses on agents battling hyenas, true sons, black tusks, and other factions to rebuild Washington DC and New York. There's a clear separation between player-driven action and PvP interactions. The storyline, cutscenes, and continued story presents itself mainly on the PvE side of the game, rather than including it in PvP. PvE player agreement number 3, build diversity. PvE emphasizes diverse builds for tackling different enemy types, challenges, difficulties, and directives to help enhance your challenge. There is a significant amount of different types of builds used in PvE versus in PvP. Build diversity is on a next level on that side of the game. Now in PvE, it allows you to select different types of difficulty from easy all the way up to legendary. Now you are allowed the opportunity to test all weapons and all gears in PvE because of the difficulty changes that you can make. All right, so this allows for more diversity when it comes to build selection, skill builds, healing builds, DPS builds. But on PvP side, this is very limited, but I will explain further on in the PvP section. All right, agreement number 4, progression system. This is the same thing as character leveling in any other game. Most gear and weapon acquisition and character advancement mainly comes from PvE activities, with PvP offering limited rewards. For example, Conflict just now included character XP gain just last season. The game has been out for 5 years. Dark Zones still don't have any character progression XP, but we will explain what these PvP modes mean later on. Alright, now you heard the PvE side of the debate. Now it's time for the PvP side. These are all the agreements from the PvP players that believe that the Division 2 is a PvP only game. Alright, Dark Zone. The Dark Zone is a dedicated PvP VE experience. All right, player versus environment. The injection tension and risk and into exploration and loot acquisition. This creates unique competitive experiences. Players are allowed to PvE while still PvP PvPing in the Dark Zone. You are allowed to receive similar drops if you were to do this, and also you can get chances at Dark Zone exclusive loot drops. You can also grab supply crates full of loot and potential exotics, but you have to extract them all out. That's what makes it extremely challenging, similar to the chest loot drops located throughout the Dark Zone maps. All right, this creates competitive and challenging excitement within the Division game. All right, agreement number 2, conflict. Conflict is a dedicated PvP mode that offers domination and skirmish. I only mentioned these two. It offers 3 total, but I'm only mentioning these 2 modes because these will be the most selected modes in conflict to expect in 2024. This PvP mode allows you to see your KD, KDA, and also win loss, and etc., and is the most structured version of PvP in the Division 2 as of right now. If you come from an FPS game or a game that has these stats in its PvP, then this can easily be relatable to you with this type of PvP, and you might actually enjoy playing it. Some players thrive on the challenge of excitement and outsmarting and outfighting other players in PvP situations. It makes you feel like you're actually getting better at the game you love, shows your ability to grow, and also gives you that I did it satisfaction. The Division 2 offers a robust experience for both PvE and PvP enthusiasts. While the majority of content and progression leans towards PvE, the Dark Zone and PvP modes provides a distinct competitive angle for those who seek it. Ultimately, it depends on what you want out of this game and what drives you to keep playing the game each time you want to game. Here are some additional points to understand. The developers have attempted to balance the PvE side first and PvP side last over time, with updates that work well for PvE but sometimes will affect PvP poorly. Some players enjoy both PvE and PvP in moderation, switching between them depending on their mood or what they want to achieve, like myself for example. The community itself is diverse, with dedicated PvE and PvP groups and individuals. So what's the final takeaway? The Division 2's PvE versus PvP debate is less about what side is superior and more about acknowledging the game's diverse offerings and recognizing that individual preferences differ. Whether you're a PvE diehard or a PvP warrior, there's likely something for you to do in the Division 2 if you get it now in 2024. Now you have your clear answer. What do you think? Click the video on the end screen to get more gameplay and tips for playing Division 2 in 2024.